Hello everyone, this is JV and Dr. Devendra Kumar Gora. Today we are going to discuss about structuralism, what structuralism is and how it actually developed in linguistics and literature. So structuralism is one of the most influential method of critical analysis in 20th century. Structuralism's emphasis on language and its formal property of the text, their structure and frame in specific genre like novel and poetry, is an extension of a kind of work, basically new criticism practice. So before understanding structuralism, we need to understand what new criticism is and how new criticism actually emerged, and it lead to the origination of structuralism. So before moving further on structuralism, a short introduction to new criticism will actually help us to understand the context in which this structuralism developed. So structuralism, new criticism basically is a term that is originated by Ransom in 1941 with the same title, new criticism, that is basically associated mainly with the works of Clint Brooke and other new critics that set out to develop a science of literary criticism and theory. What basically these new critics argue? They argue that the author's intention behind a work is far less important and that shall not be knowledgeable than the meaning generated by the work, by the language, style and the formal feature of the language. So what they propose, especially Wimsatt and others, was that there is basically no need to bring in the features such as author's biography, history, socio-political background of the author. There is no need to understand the text. So we all need is the words on the page and the meaning is contained in the text. In other words, we can say that new criticism proposed the autonomous existence and nature of literary text. Basically, it means to say that text in itself is independent. We need not to depend on the background and different context of the author, like class of the author, its gender, sexual preferences, race, economic condition, nationality, and like this. So in this particular way, the focus was on the linguistic elements to understand the language. The same thing we will discuss in structuralism, what structuralism is and what the structuralists believe. They believe that the world in itself is organized. It is organized as a structures, and these structures are made of the units that are an arrangement in a specific order, and we can say these units follow a particular rules in the way they are organized or related to each other. We can say, as we shall understand it by an example, when we do build a building, so there is a structure of a building, right? And the bricks, the plaster and other tools that are used to fill that structure are the units. So how this structure is made of? That structure is made of the bricks, means these bricks represent here as a unit, and it means we can say the structure is formed or made of number of units that are put in a specific order. So here Ferdinand Saussure in his book actually speaks that the entitled A Course in General Linguistics, that was published in 1915, in which various components exist in relation to each other. That was his move about the structuralism. Here what Saussure was proposing, that was very radical rethinking of nature of language. We can say it is not enough to see how words actually acquire their meaning over the time. We need to understand how words mean within the period and a part of general system of language. So here the three words, basically we can say there are two words like length. It means there is a set of the rules, and the second one is parole, that represents the live language. That's the we can say the meaning was a result of being able to recognize the difference, and we need to understand the difference among the meaning of different words. Like cat is cat because it is different from bat or hat. So it is difference in terms of the sound pronounced and the way in which it is written, and the speaker perceives the meaning by differentiating it from the other words. So there are three words. Finally, Saussure suggests that the words and their meaning are quite not natural but created through the repeated use and convention. The pronunciation and writing of the word does not invoke anything. So there is no relationship between the words and its meanings. The meaning is attributed through its use of community of language users. So we have to understand what signifier is and what signified is. According to Saussure, whatever the sound and phonetics or any words means what that represents the signifier, the word, its phonetic transcription or sounds is the signifier, and whatever the meaning lies behind is signified. That is the theory given by Saussure, structuralism. Later on it was pursued in different part of the world, that is known with different name. Like in Russia, it is known with the Russian formula that is adopted by the linguists of Russia like Victor and Roman Jacobson, etc. Thank you very much.